Greetings, human beings. How's it going? Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. My name is Julia. This is the fucking yoga company. Yoga for the rest of us. All of the benefits. And none of the yoga bullshit. Maybe some of the bullshit. Is my shirt crooked or is the camera crooked? Oh, it's my shirt. And today is not even yoga. It is mat Pilates. So we're going to work on our core strength. We're going to find some muscles that have been sadly ignored. And it's harder than you think. So don't get bummed. And just remember that we're doing all of this. It's all baby steps, right? It's all baby steps. I like to listen to music that does not have lyrics. So I'm listening to a group called Willie and Lobo. It's the Willie and Lobo Radio on Spotify. And that is because while lyrics are part of my moving meditation and yoga, notice how I threw that in there. This workout, this activity, I will call it. It's not really, I don't know. I don't like the working out comments. This activity is better served when your attention is turned inward. And so pick your favorite instrumental. That's yoga. Aha. That's yoga. Where's my Pilates? Aha, here it is. I've been trying to keep myself organized, and sometimes it just feels like it's less organized. I didn't really have a plan for today, but I do have kind of a plan. Oh, yeah, here we go. We're going to do that one. I'm going to be using, and we're going to do this one. And I'm going to be using my resistance strap. Are we going to do the ITIs? We might do the ITYs. YTIs? TYIs? I don't know. And we might be doing the TYIs. So what am I going to be doing? I'm going to be using 2-pound weights. I'm going to be using my resistance band and probably a blanket in place of a wedge. I don't have a wedge. So let me reach over here and grab that. The benefits of Pilates. Oh yeah, we'll do this, a little bit of that too. Is the strengthening of the core muscles. And the core muscles are not just your abs. So that's kind of the bust up. We got to break down those myths that doing a bunch of sit-ups is going to help your core. In fact, I will say that doing a bunch of sit-ups is likely to hurt your back. Because very quick rundown of the muscles of your abdominal wall. We have a rectus abdominis. That's that six-pack muscle that you see. I'll take off my glasses because I can't fucking see. I can see my glasses to read. I can't see the camera, although the camera's blurry right now too. So I have two sets of glasses with 4 different prescriptions. Yeah, that's life, right? Anyway, rectus abdominis, it's the 6-pack muscle. And the reason that you can see the 6-pack muscle on actors and models and all of the and super fit people is not because their 6-pack muscle is any more particularly more strong or stronger. Yes, is not necessarily stronger. There's a better sentence. Than the rest of us. It's that they have 0 body fat. Right? Their body fat percentages are so low that you can see that they have that rippled muscle. rectus abdominis. The rectus abdominis is designed to hold us up, right? Its counter muscle is our latissimus dorsi, and all of our QLs, the quadratus lumborum and the erector spinae. So they balance our spine, right? And the rectus abdominis really does two things. It contracts to help us fold, and it extends, right, to help us stand up straight. It's already one of the most powerful muscles in your body. It doesn't need sit-ups, okay? You have your internal and external obliques, which are part of the core, right? Those are muscles that help us tilt side to side and twist. They help us lift. They help us engage, and as well as, right, keeping us standing up straight and protecting our spine. And then you have your transverse abdominis, which is literally shaped like a corset that underlies those other core muscles. And that's the powerhouse of your core. It's the one that we want to get stronger. It's the one that we can improve, right? Its strength and activation. And the transverse abdominis tucks down to the tip of the pubic bone, connects all the way around your pelvic cradle, and right, and then attaches. Does it attach under the ribs? I think it attaches to the ribs. Psh. I'd have to look up that part. I mean, I did look all this up. I refreshed all of this. Do you know how much fucking knowledge you have in your head? I was just thinking, the music that you have forgotten alone is staggering, right? Anyway. And so those are the muscles that we want to get to, the internal and external obliques. We want to work the transverse abdominis. In addition, we have adductors, your quads, your hamstrings, your teres minor, your latissimus dorsi, the rhomboids, the subscap. All of these other muscles also work as part of the core, right? So we want to work it as a whole. We want it to activate effectively together. And then the other thing about Pilates is it's all about removing momentum from our work. You can throw weights around all the time, and I see it. I wrote about the morning crew at the gym that I used to go to. Big, huge guys, right? Throwing weights around. They're not lifting the weights, right? They're not engaging. They weren't standing straight. They weren't getting into good alignment, and then moving those weights with control, right? They were just and you can see them swaying, and you can see them working just to lift a gigantic weight. And that's momentum. That momentum doesn't help our muscles, right? It makes them bigger, but it doesn't mean you have any control over that. But that's the strength of that muscle. So that's the other part of Pilates. It's about taking momentum out of the. I just lost a word. Sorry, it's really chilly in here, and then got really warm. Equation. Haha, mathematic word. Maths. It takes momentum. Momentum, if we remove momentum from the equation, we're getting a more beneficial workout. And that means low and slow and in control. And sometimes that is hard for people to process, right? Particularly in a Western state of mind, where it has to be bigger and faster and heavier and harder. Okay. Pilates is calm and subdued and focused. That's a really lovely, actually, group of words. Look at me. I haven't even had coffee yet. All right, let us start. We're going to start on our backs. We're going to do some pelvic tilts. We're going to work some bridge pose. I'm going to be working with the tension strap, but in everything that we do today, you can do without that. And then we'll sit and work some weights. We're going to do some upper body stabilization, and then we'll stretch in the day, and then you can move on with your day or finish your day. I don't know where you're at. Let's do this. Grab some water. Take a little sip of water because our breathing, we take a lot of little tiny breaths because we'll be activating our core against our diaphragm. We're going to be breathing, working in a tight space. So, aight. Let's do this. Bridge and bridge and bridge. So I'm going to be putting my tension strap on simply because I don't want to have to pause what I'm doing to get that mama jamma going. So we'll start with our pelvic tilts just to get warmed up. Actually, I don't need that because it's just going to be interfering with my process. Whew. All right. So we want our legs in alignment with the ischial spine, which is the front edge of your pelvic cradle, and line that up with the femur, and then the femur with the tibia, and then down into the space between the first and second toe. Open those shoulders a little bit, feel nice and flat on the mat. I'm going to rest my elbows right here and just let my fingers rest on the belly. I like to place my hands on my torso while I'm working with the core because it's a reminder, right, of the process. So let's do our Pilates zip up. Pelvic floor. Let's engage the transverse abdominis, low in the belly. Pull the belly button against the spine. That's transverse abdominis and diaphragm. Now we're going to work these intercostals. These are these tiny little muscles that help the ribs stay in alignment. Tuck and give me a whew. Yesterday I had the worst cramp there. And then give me flat shoulder blades. Just a little press the shoulders into the floor. This is a lot of work. You can hear it in my breath. I'm taking these tiny little breaths because I'm holding my torso. I'm giving a lot of energy to stabilizing the torso. So I'm scooching my heels slightly back towards the glutes. Inhale to prepare. Notice this is opposite breathing of when we do yoga. Exhale, just rotate the hips up. Inhale, unwind. Now try to do that without squeezing the glutes. It's about contracting the transverse abdominis and utilizing these intercostals to flatten the ribs and draw the hips up. Try to relax your quads. I mean, you're going to get some activation there. It's really about the glutes. Don't squeeze the glutes. The glutes aren't going to help you in this one. Or they can, but we don't want them to. Let's do 4 more. Getting a little cramp still, residual muscle spasm. And unwind. Ooh, tilt the pelvic cradle away. So press the tailbone into the mat and then flatten. Oh, wow. All right. We feeling that? I got to take an allergy pill. I should have done it yesterday, but I wasn't. I was hoping I wouldn't have to do 2. Whew. All right, so now we're going to take our bridge and we're going to, again, this is opposite of yoga breathing. We're going to do 8 bridges. And this is inhaling to prepare. Sorry, these leggings just are not comfortable today. We're inhaling to prepare and exhaling as we go up. And then inhaling, taking a pause, and exhaling as we go down. Right? So there's a 4 system breath here. Again, I'm going to rest my fingertips on my torso. My triceps and shoulder blades are pressed gently against the mat. So inhale to prepare and exhale. Now I am squeezing glutes. Inhale here and exhale. Come down. Hold. Inhale and exhale. Okay, halfway. Three more. And one more. And release. Ooh. Taking a big resting breath. It's still cold in here. I'm just saying. All right. We're going to take our active bridge. Nope. We're going to take our bridge and then we're going to do a little leg lift. Now, there are two ways to do this. You can just roll your foot up to the ball of, right? And come down and then alternate. But we're going to work asymmetrically. So we're going to go up, lift the leg, come down, go up, switch sides, come down. Or you can lift totally the foot off the mat. And you're going to figure out which one is going to work for you. But it is all about controlling the momentum and holding the body weight up. All right. Pull the pelvic floor up and in. Activate the lower transverse abdominis. Scoop the belly. Tuck those ribs. Flatten the shoulder blades. Little press of the triceps. Just a little. Inhaling and exhaling. Scoop it up. Take a sip. Lift a leg. Or roll up to the toe. Sip and roll down. Inhale. Exhale. Take a sip. Either roll your foot up or lift the leg and come down. You got to stabilize. You don't want to dip. So I did just dip my hips a little bit. So stabilization with the hips, keeping the hips in plane, coming on down, and then rolling. In fact, I'm moving the fingertips to my hips so that I can concentrate on activating this stabilization rather than letting that hip drop. There we go. And down. Don't rush. Now I'll show you what it looks like with the foot lift. But the premise is the same. I'm going to lift this foot and stabilize these ribs and come on down and come on through. Rolling up into the ball of the foot. Keep those hips. See, I'm even swaying on that one. It's because my core is tired. I moved a ton of bricks for the second time yesterday. Let's see, how many was that? 4? Okay, 4 more. Now notice I'm being very careful in both the foot roll and the leg lift. I'm not thrusting that knee up. I'm lifting it up and holding, and then I'm lowering it down and pressing. Now, I did lose stability of the hips in that one. 2 more. I lost control of the breath. Take a sip. And release. Whew. And take fingers behind the knees. Let's roll up. I'm going to grab a drink of water. God, my eyes are really bad today. Okay. So I'm going to keep my tension band on, and we're going to do some leg lifting. I'm going to actually turn the heat up. Sorry, I just cannot get comfortable. Rocking into my feet. Look at how I got off the mat. Woohoo! It was a little too fast, but. All right. So now we're going to do some little teeny weeny floating of the legs. We're going to do some twists. And then we'll sit. No, we're going to do our supine twists, and then we'll grab either the Pilates ball. I'll grab the Pilates ball or the rings, and we're going to do some other work. All right, dude. You're blocked. That's it. Listen. No, you know what? You're wasting my time. All right, here we go. You're wasting other people's times. Other people's time. Little rock side to side. Tucking the hips up. And just like that. Done. All right. Same position of the legs, right? In neutral placement, aligned with the ischial spine. I'm going to lengthen the left leg. And I'm working against this tension band, which is actually interesting. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't do it like that. But I'm going to give it a go. All right. So, that's actually worse. I'm going to come up a little higher. Here we go. I haven't ever done this one with a tension band. All right. Pull the pelvic floor up and in. Engage the lower aspect of the transverse abdominis, belly button, intercostals. Press gently open with the shoulder blades and the triceps. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. That's it. Relax the foot. I'm using the weight of the leg to activate the core. Now this is a little faster, but it's also smaller. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness. Whew, I'm feeling that right up my back. Little twist side to side. All right. Same dealio on the right. Lengthen the right leg. All right, pelvic floor. Lower transverse abdominis. Belly button, ribs. Inhale, exhale. Hold. Inhale, exhale. Relax the foot. All right, 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Wow. I will say this. That tension band was playing a little bit like a reformer. Oh, okay. Tucking my fingers behind the knees. Let's roll up. Woo! All right. I'm going to take my little Pilates ball. And we're going to work a little C curve. Now, if you don't have a Pilates ball, you could use a ring of fire. I'll show you that. I have 2 rings of fire. They come in different dimensions, right? I have the big one and I have a little one. Actually, I'm going to leave this one out because I'm going to use that one later. Okay. So, but if you have a small, this is a Pilates ball. And actually, I use this one when I'm working with the big ball on the wall, doing some squats. All right, pull those sit bones out from underneath the glutes. If you're feeling your back, go ahead and grab a blanket and tuck it right underneath your sit bones. Now, I'm going to be using this small ring of fire, and I want you to sit up nice and straight. So let's see, slouching, right? Arched, leaning too far forward. You're going to feel that in your hamstrings. Sitting up flat. A great way to practice this flat back is to sit up against the wall. Scoot your tailbone, your sacrum all the way against the baseboard, against the wall, and then just tuck everything back so that it feels straight. You can also practice this in the car if you drive. At a stoplight, tuck the shoulder blades back against the seat and lift from the sternum, and then hold this. Just hold and breathe the space of the time it takes the stoplight to change. Then let it all go. Those are good ways to practice this flat back. All right. I'm going to hold on to the C curve. Or I'm sorry, this is not the C curve. This is the ring of fire. I really need some coffee. All right. I slept great last night. I don't know. I'm getting it under control. All right. So I'm going to press out into the C curve. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. C curve. I'm going to press out and in. Inhaling. Coming right on up and back. Now, Julia, I don't have a fucking ring of fire. Okay. Pretend this is a blanket. Roll up a, I'll do this one. Roll your blanket up, if you have one, into a block. Or use a pillow. If you've got a memory foam pillow, that would be great. You can do the exact same thing. Inhaling to prepare. Exhaling. I'm C curving out. I'm squeezing in and reaching out. And you can feel that activation all the way up the arms and into the back. All right. That's my hack. Where'd my little... Oh, here we go. That was 2. we have 6 more. Okay, we're in the bow. Press the low back. Tuck, 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 tuck. Now unwind the spine and bring it up and in. And go again. Scoop the belly. I want you to hollow the belly out and feel like you're folded over the top of your waistband. Wiggle those toes. I'm starting to get a cramp. We have 4 more. Here, it's a really lovely stretch. And then back is when we start a little bit extra work. 2 more. And last one. Whew. Wow. Okay. Feeling that all the way up my back. Taking another little sip of water. Oh, you know what? I forgot our supine twist. We'll do just did the C curve with the ring. All right, let's go back to our spines. We'll do our chest lifts and our supine lift. And then, oh yeah, we'll do a modified bicycle and our toe taps. This is what happens when I don't have a solid plan. I just had an idea in my head. Hey, coming to our spine. What did I say we were doing? Sorry, I forgot what we were doing. Chest lifts, toe taps, supine twists, and then yeah. All right, chest lifts. So opening up these shoulders, resting the elbows on the mat. Fingertips can be tucked right behind the ears. Like your head is not going to be, look, my head is not resting on my hands at all because you're not going to be lifting your head. We're just going to be lifting the sternum up and toward the knees, right? And if it helps, this is a tiniest little crunch, but we're not going to go all hog wild. We're not tucking our elbows around the ears. We're not rolling up towards the knees. Pull the pelvic floor up and in. Activate that lower transverse abdominis, belly button, ribs. And the ribs are really challenging here, right? Inhale. And now just lift the chest. Inhale and lower. Inhale, lift. I'm sorry, exhale as you lift. Tuck the chin slightly. But you notice, right? I'm not craning my head. I'm not pushing. I'm lifting the shoulders and the collarbone and the sternum. Each time you come back to flat, check that pelvic floor and the lower transverse abdominis. Two more. I think that was 3, but let's just finish it off and relax. All right, I'm going to rest my biceps next to my rib cage. My fingertips are going to rest on the belly. We're going to do our toe taps. And this is, I want you to imagine we've just put an L bracket or a brace on your knee. So 90 degrees-ish, right? 90 degrees-ish. Now, we're not going to take both legs off the mat like that at the same time. If we were going to do that, we would use a blanket or a wedge to help support our back until we got strong enough to maintain our imprint. This is one at a time. We're going to come up and put the foot down and then alternate sides. So pull the pelvic floor up and in, activate the transverse abdominis, tuck those ribs, and then get the shoulder blades and triceps in position. Can't sing while you're doing Pilates because you can't take a deep breath. Inhaling, exhale, hold, and come down. Sip of air. Notice I'm not bending my knee. I'm not lifting my foot. I'm not extending. I'm pivoting the foot at the hip or the leg at the hip. And go. Keep it slow and in control. That was too fast. Did you see me rush that one? So I want you to think about the 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the perfect speed right there. And one more time. And fire. And release. Woo! All right. So now we are going to do our supine twists. This is the one that we should have done in the first round, but we're going to do it now. So I'm taking my heels, toes, calves, knees, and quads together. And pretend like your feet are glued together because we're going to rock in the twist. So we're inhaling here, but we're just going to peel that foot off. I'm not going to lift my legs. I'm not making any adjustments. I want to come over to the full extension of my obliques. And then come on up. Inhale, exhale. Pause, inhale, exhale. Each time you exhale, use that breath to hollow this belly out. I ran out of breath in that one, so I'm taking a little sip of air to continue the exhale. So it's sort of a stretch here, but then you want to really activate that core. We used to call my mother in pictures. She would say code word, and she'd want us. We called it the Raquel Welch scoop. If you've ever seen or like young Raquel Welch, 60s and 70s Raquel Welch, she would stand in such a way. Those women wore those bikinis, and they would suck their belly buttons so tight in, and then kind of round themselves to get to create the optical illusion. And bring it on up. All right, I'm going to tuck my fingers behind the knees. Oof. And roll up in control. Take a little fold. Oh. Lean in one direction. Lean in the other. Oh. If you're feeling that heat in your low back, we are doing our jobs. All right. Last round of exercises, and then we're going to stretch. All right. It's harder than you think, right? It is. All right, so we're going to do our TIYs. TIYs. And the TIYs you can do without weights. If you had 2 cans of tomato paste. Those are 8 small cans. Those are 8 ounces. You could do a 15-ounce can of whatever, right? That's just under a pound. I'm going to use 2-pound weights. Palms down, shrug the shoulders, right? Engage the core as best you can. Seated is hard. And if sitting here is bothering you, go one leg out, one leg in. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll switch around. So palms down, hands very, very light on the weights. Inhaling, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, lift. Now, if you're doing this without weights, you can see, in fact, I might drop the weights. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to continue. I'm just sore because I moved a ton of bricks for the second time. What are you doing with cedar cinder blocks? I'm making a patio. The only thing about being in this modified Z-sit is I want you to be mindful about the rock and roll of your torso. So I noticed I was leaning towards this extended leg. I want you to be very square over the hips. Really activate that lower transverse abdominis. And this is the last one. Ooh, and rock and roll. Let that go. Okay, I'm going to switch the Dexons. And again, right, I'm still just leaning to the, no, I'm leaning away from this one. Interesting. The body's so fascinating. It's a very complex machine. Okay, here we go. We are going to, what are we doing? We're doing TIYs. All right. So T's are going to be the same thing. Just rest those weights to the insides or the outside of the knee. I want you to shrug the shoulders, sitting up straight. You're going to be, I want you to hammer curl. So thumbs up, right? If you're not using any weight, just, you can just blade your hands. All right. Squeeze those shoulder blades together slightly behind you. Inhale to prepare. And here we go. Now, if you have a tweak in your shoulder and it's like here, this is where you stop, right? Now look at my arms are all out of whack. This is the only time a mirror would be very, very helpful. It's in terms of working with your arms and figuring out how you're out of alignment. The problem with this camera is that they eliminated the mirror image. Didn't realize how fucking heavy your arms were, did you? We have 5 more of these. Four. Go deep into that transverse abdominis. 3. I'm trying to keep my arms in balance and it's just not working. I'm all out of whack. Close this leg. Maybe that's what's happening to me. I'm sitting out of whack. Nope. Here we go. And that was 1. Oh, how does your upper back feel? Take a stretch. Take a stretch. We're going to do some more of that in a minute. Switch my legs. All right, Y's. Ooh. Am I going to do weights on the Y's? I think I am going to do weights on the Y's. All right, let's talk about the movement though. The Y is an I with an extension. It's my favorite shape. It's the shape of a wine glass. That's why my back is tight. I keep leaning off kilter. So we're going to come up with the thumbs. Right? You know why? Because I'm sitting wonky. But instead of coming straight up like that I, we're going to open up into the Y. So we're going to take this dip to center. And then come out and open. That's it. I'm going to actually continue. Let's just move it. So activate that transverse abdominis. I really need a mirror for this one because I'm all out of whack here. It's because I'm tired and I did all those bricks the other day. This is right under your shoulder blades. Wiggle the fingers, keep the arms relaxed. Whew. 2 more. Do we have 2 more? I don't know. Let's do 1 more because I'm getting tired. Oh. All right. 1 leg out, 1 leg in. We're going to take our lateral extension and we're going to take a fold. So let's start with lateral extension. And come on over. And lateral extension. All right, we're going to come up for our lateral extension and now rotate over for the fold. So reach toward the corner of the mat. Oh, unwind it. All right. Same on this side. Come over first and then reach in alignment with the leg. Inhaling, coming on up. Let's take a forward fold. And I am way out of square here today. That's okay. Tomorrow's yoga. I'll get myself recentered. We spend all of our time putting ourselves out of square, and then yoga. I spend all my time with yoga, getting myself back into square. You know, part of my problem was that I was not sitting on this blanket. So there we go. Oh yeah, that's better. All right, here we go. Nice big reach on over. Oh no, we're just going to do this one. Oh, I'm getting a cramp in my foot. Wiggle those toes. Okay, let's go back to the first side. Lateral extension and stretch, stretch, stretch. Now fold toward the corner of the mat. Unwind it. And fold toward the length of the leg. Coming on up and take our forward fold. Unwind. Roll those shoulders. Work the head. Okay. We're going to move to hands and knees because we're going to do our Ekapada Ustrasana. Oh, that's going to leave a mark. Tomorrow, you're going to be sore. Where are we going to be sore? We're going to be sore right here over the hips. We're going to be sore kind of in the low back, probably in the low transverse abdominis. Definitely under the shoulder blades. We're going to do some C curving in a minute, but let's do this one because then we'll get back to seated. All right, so Ekapada Ustrasana. One knee on the mat, worm the left foot. I'm on the right knee. Worm the left foot forward and press into hip flexors. Lengthen the leg and take a gentle bow. But look at how deep that bend in the knee is, right? Keep that knee bend. All right, we're going to heel toe it out and around and switch. So in calisthenics this week, we're going to work, I'm going to call it the brick lift. It's actually the grocery lift, but I used it to load and move all these bricks. All right, heel toe that one out and around. Just take a little child's pose. All right, now we are going to take our C curves. So we're going to go cactus arm C curve. We do this in yoga all the time. So draw cactus. Sorry, I'm totally feeling off balance today. I don't know how to feel this. Sorry, I'm sitting in pleasant seated pose. So my legs are in parallel. We might as well do this together and then we'll do our C curves. I'm pressing into the knees with my arms and then pivoting at the hip. So this is not a round back. This is a big hip flexor and adductor. I'm feeling that in my glute med. All right, let's switch. All right, now let's C curve it. Squeeze these arms back and now C curve around. Inhaling up, squeeze them back and C curve it around. One more time. Now reach the fingers to the mat first, continue in the round of the back, and take it a little bit lower in the bow. Walking hands back. I'm going to grab a drink of water. Hey, my name is Julia. This is the fucking yoga company. Yoga for the rest of us. All the benefits, none of the fucking bullshit. There's some bullshit. It just doesn't have to do with yoga or fitness. I got nothing. Hey, that's perfectly okay. I've cleared my brain of a flotsam. Have you cleared your brain of a flotsam? Is your low back on fire? That's okay. That means we did some work. That means we've created some strength. We've put some energy into that. And give yourself a break. So if tomorrow you're achy, You're wondering what the hell you did. We did Pilates. Seriously, this is a great place. I'm gonna go have some coffee. Maybe hopefully I'll stay like this today. Kind of in the zone.